All right, so we're talking about rejection. And rejection is a big thing. Okay. So many people deal with rejection. I believe that rejection is a part of the human experience. I really believe that you don't go through life without experiencing rejection at some point in time. And so there are three types of rejection that I have noticed that a lot of people are affected by. So you have family rejection, which most of us have dealt with some sort of familial rejection, social rejection, and romantic rejection. I believe that rejection is a doorway offense. So I think what happens with rejection is when people feel rejected, what happens is I think it opens up a doorway of things, right? I believe it's our human nature. If somebody says something, it really only takes one offense. And then our mind continues to repeat the cycle of it over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, time after time. So, for example, if somebody tells you you ugly, right? It only takes one time. Then you begin to repeat that in your head over and over and over and over again. And you don't need anybody else to furthermore validate that. What happens is now rejection has opened up a doorway for insecurity. And you go into your mind, and you keep repeating that thing over and over and over again. So you keep telling yourself, you know what, I am ugly. I'm not good enough. One thing I really wrestled with was this sense of arrogance. You know what I mean? All it took for, in true defense, I could have truly been arrogant. But what happened is that it sparked the insecurity for me. So when somebody called me arrogant, even though I didn't feel in my heart I was, what happened is now I started to adopt false humility, because over and over in my head, playing time after time after time, every time I would get the mic to minister, every time I would go to do anything, I would always be reminded that I was called arrogant one time. It only takes one offense to open up the doorway to rejection. Acts that make people feel rejected. You got molestation and rape. I was having an amazing, eye-opening conversation the other day. And somebody was telling me how they went through some things with their sibling. And sometimes having a sibling who is sick can make the sibling who is not sick feel rejected. If you have a sibling who is problematic, always a problem child, always getting into stuff, and you're the good child, you can start to experience some sense of rejection from that. So then you have being bullied in school. That can also start it. That's another doorway. Social rejection within your social class. So all rejected people want to be accepted. So what I found is that I felt rejected. And so I felt like I had to prove myself to all the people that rejected me. And so rejection will often manifest itself in a false sense of busyness. Like we become busy and not productive because we're trying to prove to somebody that we are somebody. You know what I mean? It's false humility. It is false humility. Another way it manifests itself, oh God, is in sexual promiscuity. Good God Almighty. Listen, I am the first to tell you, feeling rejected really made me feel like I had to find my being in other people. So then it opened up a sense of sexual promiscuity within me. And it was a manifestation of my rejection. We are layered beings. And so what happens is that when one part of us is affected, it affects the other parts. A lot of people don't understand how that opens so many doors. Let me say this as well. And I promise you, church people probably going to be so mad at me. Do not address somebody's homosexuality, their promiscuity, until you address the reason why it's there. We attack stuff at the fruit level, and we don't get to the root of it.